This New Brunswicker told me this here Newfie joke. If it doesn't go over, blame it on the New Brunswickers. This here Newfoundlander was a transport truck driver. He came all the way to Ontario with a load of rabbits. So when he got up here on the 401, the back door opened up and all the rabbits got scampering around and jumping all through the fields and everything. They fell out of the truck. The OPP comes along and he says, "Hey, buddy," he said, "what you doing sitting there with a big smile on your face?" He says, "When all these here rabbits are bouncing and everything all over the fields." So the Newfie truck driver looked at him and he said, "Well, why?" He said, "I'll tell you. They're jumping here and they're jumping there and they don't know where they're going. And I got the address right here." And then, of course, when I first come up from PEI to seek my fortune in Ontario, where all the gold bricks were supposed to be laying on the street and I could pick up a few, send them back home, make everybody happy, as long as I didn't return with the bricks. I wound up in a little town called Leamington in southwestern Ontario looking for a job. I never had no money, nothing in me pockets, except lint, patches in me pants, never had no friends, never had a pot or a window either, if you know what I mean. And there I was, I'm walking down the streets in Leamington, and what to my great fortune, I meets the town drunk. He staggers up to me, and I stagger up to him. He says, "Hey, you with the big black cowboy hat on. Said, where are you from?" I said, PEI. Well, he said, pee in your own eye if you don't want to tell me. Second time I went back, I run into this other fellow who was hopscotch and diddly-kabobbling around Leamington, too, when I was looking for a job. This guy had one of them blue uniforms on with the funny peak on the cap and everything. All kinds of funny brass buttons and everything, with a club in one hand and a gun in the other. He was one of them real tough ones, you know, with two black belts. One running this way and one running around that way. This cat comes diddly-bobbling up to me and he says, "I'm the chief around here." I said, "What tribe?" He said, "Look at funny man." He said, "You're that funny guy that's been writing them funny songs about all these funny towns around here." He said, "Listen, funny man." He said, "You're going to write a nice, lovable song about our lovable town in Leamington, ain't you, funny man?" I said, "Yes, sir, I sure am." Well, I done the best I could. I come back with a song. I kept my promise and they kept theirs. They booted me out of town anyways. It's called the Ketchup Song. Goes good everywhere except in Leamington. There was a guy from PEI they used to call Potato. He met this young Leamington, Ontario tomato. But he had eyes for other girls and she was a little mushy. So they said, well, let's get wed. There's no sense being fussy. Big size French fries, how they love tomatoes. So dress them up with Heinz ketchup. Ketchup loves potatoes. Ketchup loves potatoes. Well, he went down to Windsor town to buy a ring on Monday. Saturday they said, okay, we'll cut the cake on Sunday. But Sunday came and what a shame, they had no one to fetch it. But out of cake they just sat and ate potato chips and ketchup. Big size French fries, how they love tomatoes. So dress them up with Heinz ketchup. Ketchup loves potatoes. Ketchup loves potatoes. So this guy from PEI they used to call Potato. He's got two boys and a little girl, two spuds and one tomato. They romp and run around Leamington, and boy, when they get hungry, the bottle drips all over the chips way down in the ketchup country. Big size French fries, how they love tomatoes. So dress them up with Heinz ketchup. Ketchup loves potatoes. Ketchup loves potatoes. So this guy from BEI, they used to call Potato. He's got 2 boys and a little girl, 2 spuds and 1 tomato. They romp and run around Leamington, and boy, when they get hungry, the bottle drips all over the chips way down in the ketchup country. Big size French fries, how they love tomatoes. So dress them up with Heinz ketchup. Ketchup loves potatoes. Ketchup loves potatoes.